out there in Facebook land, psychic outreach group members. I am going to do a general reading. I do not know who this reading is for, but hopefully multiple people can relate to it. Hoping you guys all can relate to it. The reading was kind of vague and kind of touch base on multiple things, so I don't really know what's going on, but hopefully one of you can relate to it. And if you can relate to it, please let me know how. I know some things can be sensitive subjects do come up in readings, but if you can relate, you don't have to go into full detail, but please let me know, give me some feedback. The spread that I chose to do was the 7-card horseshoe spread. I did a clarification card at the end, and the clarification card just touches base on everything that I felt in the reading, and then it kind of touches base with things that I might have missed and that sort of thing. So that's at the very end. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. The first card that I pulled will represent the past, or something that has happened, or something that has come up in the past that kind of leads you to today. And the card that I pulled for you for that, or whomever, is the Hermit. The Hermit is a card of solitude, patience, quiet contemplation, reflection, maturity, patience, soul searching, acceptance, and self-care. So all these things combined in this card tells me that whatever you've been through, you've kind of grown to a certain point in your life that you kind of are kind of weary of life, that you're kind of standoffish, and like you know where you are in life, and you have this sense of maturity, you know, youth and pizzazz kind of don't spark your interest anymore. It's more of like self-reflection, and there's that maturity where you get to a certain point in your life where you, not old age, not that you are old or anything, but you gain that sense of knowing and acceptance and that sort of thing. And that's what comes up in this card, that either has happened in the past, or that's where you have gotten to, that you have this mentality that you are strong with who you are. And the Hermit is actually supposed to be the Fool card halfway through his journey. So he's actually gained perspective through his travels. Does that make sense? So yeah, let me go on to the next card. The next card will be the Present. Okay, so the present card that I pulled for you is the Wheel of Fortune. I don't know if you could actually see that card. My camera is kind of bad. Wheel of Fortune represents adjustment in circumstances, new chapter, changes in fortune, rise and fall. Something new is about to happen, something major. It's a little bit of a mix of fate and free will. Taking responsibility for your own life path. So, I don't know, since this is a general reading, and I don't know who this reading is out to, I don't know what this reading is really about, but I could only assume that whatever you've been going through, it's kind of, some days is good, some days are bad. So there's, it's a rise and fall of good and bad. Hold on 1 second, Judas is throwing stuff at me. Okay, I'll read it after I'm done. So there's a rise and fall, there's good and bad, and sometimes it's really good, sometimes it's really bad, and that's what the Wheel of Fortune is. It's a wheel, it goes up and down, right? So sometimes it's bad and sometimes it's good, and it's a process. So I don't know what's going on with any of you guys, but it seems like it's like an ongoing thing, that there's always something happening, or some days you have more money, sometimes you don't, sometimes it's in good health, sometimes it's not, sometimes if you if this reading is regarding psychic awakening and spiritualism and that sort of thing, sometimes Spirit's messages are really clear and some days they're not. Meditation, sometimes it's really good, sometimes it's not. But that's what the Wheel of Fortune is. It's an ongoing process of rise and fall, free will and fate, and yeah. So it's an ongoing thing. The next card will represent what's helping. I'm sorry, that's not reversed. The Queen of Cups. The Queen of Cups is a loved and admired, desired love object, needing to feel adored. Feelings are really important. You need to understand and reflect. It's the object of someone's sincere love. So I don't know if one of you guys are having relationship issues, or if maybe it's just an issue of wanting to feel appreciated for all the hard work that you've been doing, or maybe just getting positive feedback. Like if you are doing readings and you need that extra like oomph, like, okay, yeah, I'm on the right path, that sort of thing. That you want to feel appreciated, basically. Usually this card is a siren, and I don't know if any of you are familiar with mermaids and sirens, but they lead sailors to their death with their call, that they are admired and loved and that sort of thing. So I don't know if somebody is having issues like with relationships and that sort of thing, but that comes up with this card. Water is a symbol of feelings, so feelings are really important. Yeah, let me move on to the next card. The next card will represent obstacles. So the Three of Swords represents difficulties, heartaches, a welcome release of tension, healing, soul rising, time of tension passing, a release, and moving on. So I don't know. Some of the cards just don't click with me, and this happened to be one of them. I'm just like, okay, how can that relate to this reading? And I honestly don't know. Three of Swords, difficulties, heartaches. And then the last card was a relationship card too. So I don't know if one of you guys are having relationship problems, or maybe it's just a tense time for you right now and you're expecting something to happen. I don't know what's going on, guys. A welcome release of tension. So if one of you guys are having issues and wanting to feel that release of tension, that's going to be a huge obstacle to overcome. That sense of moving on. I don't know if any of this is making sense to you guys. Please let me know if you could relate. Okay, so the next card that I pulled for you will represent the attitudes, and attitudes could be your attitude, could represent the attitude that you should have, or it could represent the attitude of others and what they feel. So this is the Ten of Wands, needing to accept and learn limits and boundaries. Doing too much, learning to say no, exhaustion, breaking point. So all these things, if you can see, this person is holding this bundle of sticks awkwardly, and they're not doing it out of force. No one's forcing them to continue this life, right? No one's forcing them to hold these sticks. So there comes a point where you get overburdened, where you put too much on your plate. Your eyes are bigger than your stomach, right? And you always say, yes, I'll do this, yes, I'll do that, and then you don't take time for yourself, and then you get overworked, overburdened, and it kind of creates that cycle of not taking care of what you want. And there comes a time where you're going to be so stressed out and not know, when to say no. And that's coming up on this card. So the next card will be what to do. That is the Strength card. Oh, it's supposed to be reversed. I think I put my cards down wrong. So it's supposed to be reversed. I wrote my notes. Reversed mean multiple things. It could mean how you feel or how you should feel. Could mean the opposite of what the card's meaning is. Could represent somebody else's feelings. Could represent the future. So reverse cards just mean multiple things. The Strength card reversed. Okay, so this is giving up vices. I don't know if you know what vices are, but it's something that gets you through the day. Like I love cookies. I could eat a whole bag of Oreos and be good. But vices are what kind of, like cigarettes, an addiction or something that helps you cope, right? So this card talks about giving up those vices. Courage, self-discipline, fortitude, determination, endurance, wrestling inner struggles, emotional strength. Reach goals without hold on a second. Okay, so effort and endurance. So nothing is worthwhile can be accomplished without effort and endurance. So what to do? This card represents what you should do, right? So you're going to have to give up certain things to kind of accomplish what your overall goals are. Emotional strength. You're going to have this emotional strength to get through it, whatever it may be. The last card will represent the outcome. The card that I pulled is the Moon. Time of uncertainty and confusion, lack of clarity, connects with fertility. I don't know if somebody is having issues with fertility and conceiving and that sort of thing. That comes up. Instincts as in psychic awareness and that sort of thing comes up. The pool of water in the front is the underworld or the connection to the spirit world. Or it could represent somebody passing, somebody dying. So that comes up. Period of fluctuation, good and bad. So this is a card like the Wheel of Fortune, that it is, sorry, trying to read my notes. Period of fluctuation, good and bad. So just like the Wheel of Fortune, there's good and bad, rise and fall. Clarity, control. Clarity or control isn't always an option to have. Need to let nature take its course. Not a time to make big decisions. Don't force anything. It can create anxieties. So the last card that I pulled is a clarification card, and clarification cards, like I said earlier, are just to touch base on stuff that I might have missed. And the card that I pulled for you would be the Ten of Cups. The Ten of Cups is lasting contentment, joy, and simplicity, happy family, stability, coming together to support one another during hard times. So I don't know what's really going on with you guys, but this card tells me that, well, the whole reading in general feels like it's one thing after another, rise and fall, and then to top it off, this card talks about coming together to support one another through hard times. The house is a symbol of stability, the children's harmony, and then devotion, and the cups are feelings. So it's an emotional time, and it's going to be up and down, and at one point it feels like one of the cards talked about spirituality and that sort of thing. So it seems like there's a lot going on. Please let me know if any of this makes sense to you. If you need further clarification, I'm down to do another reading. I have to get my son into the bath and ready for bed and that sort of thing. So I'm not too sure if I could finish another reading tonight, but if I do, I'll try to push it out. I will post it in the comments below, or if you wanted a private reading, just email me and I'll try to get to your email. I have at least 10 other emails that I have to get to, but I hope this makes sense to somebody, and I hope you enjoyed it. I know it was really fast, but yeah, I'll talk to you guys later. Bye!